few other videos. I'll link the playlist above, and also I'll link the blog post below. But this 5-part series is a great way to have a plan in the morning to get yourself waked up. Instead of hitting the snooze button, grab your phone, your smartphone, your tablet, your computer, or your television. Make sure you subscribe, and also make sure you get YouTube Red so you can see us commercial free. This routine today is a quick 15-minute yoga and Pilates and mobility-based routine, and it's all about the booty today. If you've got tight butt or dead butt, if you sit a lot, this routine is for you. You don't really need equipment, but if you have a yoga block and a yoga strap, some of the moves might be a little bit more comfortable. We're gonna focus on loosening up your hips and your... So let's actually start. If you don't have a block, just use a piece of furniture or any other piece of equipment you have. We're gonna start with a deep squat. So if this is something you struggle with, just put your hands down, and maybe this is your modification for today. But I'm gonna have my hands down on the block, and I'm gonna just start to bend my knees and stretch a few times. If you're a little bit more advanced, you can get rid of the block and just start some squats. Get away from the camera. And then finally come on down. And I want you to come down into a way deep squat and just go from right to left a few times. Really getting that big deep hip stretch. Now, you can always stay in one of those positions, but I'm gonna bring us into the full deep squat. And I really feel this in my hips, but it's really a great exercise for hip health, spine health. A lot of times if people have back problems, they really just have issues with their hips. So you want to keep these strong and healthy, even if you're young now. Deep breaths, I really feel this. Now I'm gonna come up out of it by stretching my legs. I'm gonna come back down into it. You can also elevate your heels. So this mat is a little bit thick, so I'm gonna show you that version. That's great if you're tight in your calves like I am. Now come down to your deep squat. We're gonna add a few twists, right? I'm just reaching one hand down and the other hand up. Twist. And then coming back to that prayer. Trying to keep my knees open here. That's the hard part. Exhale. Inhale. Getting deep into those hips. Really feeling it all through my legs, waking the body up. One more. Now I'm gonna sit back down. Now sit up on the block if you need to modify. And I'm gonna sit tall and reach my hands back. And just sit up tall by pressing your hands back. And just start to mobilize the knees up and down. Breathe deep. And then pause. And let's raise the arms up and just keep it still. Right, try to float the ribs up off the hips and soften through the shoulders. Another few seconds here. And then I'm gonna bring my hands down to the floor. And I'm not forcing anything. I'm gonna try to lengthen from my chest and see if I can maybe make my elbows down. Gentle mobility here. I'm gonna reach back into my belly muscles and lift open through my chest again. Another deep breath in. And then I'm gonna take it over towards your right, and I'm gonna make sure to reach my opposite hip down and just lift up through my chest here. And then walk it through the center. Give it a little bit of a stretch here. Deep breath. And then make my way over to the other side. And I'm gonna make sure that that opposite hip is reaching down. Deep breath in and maybe twist back a little bit deeper. Looking over that back shoulder. And then untwist. And I'm going to sit, I'm going to slide the mat back just a little bit so you guys can have a nice full view of me. I'm going to sit with one leg forward and then the other leg back. And I'm going to hook the foot into the opposite elbow, and then we're going to do a little hip stretch here. So I'm lifting my spine tall, and you'll really feel it on that side of the hip. Going from right to left gently. I'm going to sit and lift really tall for a few moments here, keeping those shoulders soft. Trying to keep my waistline even from right to left, and maybe intensifying the stretch by lifting up the foot and taking it across a little bit more. Now, I'm going to slide the bottom knee, bringing it in, and I'm going to sit close and then I'm going to show you the side view here. And reach my hands back and lift up really tall here. And it's just gonna get really, really deep into that hip. Keeping the chest super lifted. Inhale through the nose, and then maybe we can try to take the hands into an interlace position. Open the chest again. Throw those shoulders back. And then I'm going to unleash, and I'm just going to show you that front view. We'll switch sides. So I'm going to stretch that leg and scoop the other leg. And let's give it a few stretches from side to side here, staying really tall through the torso. And thinking about really waking up the whole side of that hip, where they can really feel it from the low back to the hip, getting a little bit looser. Making that morning amazing with just a little bit of mobility. Starting the day right by taking care of yourself. And now I'm just going to hold it still and lift up really tall here. Keeping my chest lifted, keeping my sit bones reaching down. Know that it'll really, really help your back out to keep your hips mobile. Now, from here, I'm going to bend my bottom knee, and I'm going to show you that side view. Now, don't just go to that side that you want to put on top. Put the thumb on top. That's the other side. And see if you can lengthen here. You can have the hands down flat. Actually, we can start there, and we'll go back into that. And just lift the body. Definitely my tighter side, keeping the abs drawing in. And let's go to that cross position. You can take the non-dominant side on the top, draw the abs in, and lift up just a little bit more. Before letting it go, turn and face me, and let's just do the stacked hip stretch. And it might not look exactly like that. You can have your feet out or in. And I just want to keep your hips planted. I like my hands on my feet. You can also have them in front. We're going to round and arch a few times. Breathing in and out. And then I'm going to have you come down. And I want you to walk to one side and then over to the other side. Really waking up the body, waking up your low back. giving it a big stretch and a twist. Keeping the sit bones planted down. And now sit on up and let's switch the legs. Switching the leg that's on top, planting the heels down, planting the sit bones down, and rounding forward and back. Stacking the spine, looking up, coming forward, chin to chest, rounding up, arching back, mobilizing all of those vertebrae. One more time. Hold it forward, walk the hands forward, and let's go side to side here. One foot, and then the other foot. One foot, and the other foot. A few more times. Now let's grab the block. We're gonna do pigeon, but I really see pigeon done, in all honesty, pretty poorly. And I want you to use the block. So bring your closed foot to me, forward. Pigeon the leg, but try to get your low leg to be parallel. And the block, see, watch what I'm doing without the block. Without the block, I'm like shifting. And then when I lift it here, I'm able to get this leg out. And it really just gives me the squareness in my hips that I need. And come forward and up a few times, just like we did. And I'm gonna have us just come to the forearms and draw your elbows into the mat as you lift up to the chest and sink your hips back. Try to keep your weight equally distributed. And flex or point the toes and play around. A few more seconds here. And then let's come on up. Switch the block to the other side. Use the block underneath that cheek and square off your hip. So this is my tighter side. And here I can really find, I really feel it in that hip. And I can really find a lot more space to mobilize with the block than without it. And let's come down and hold it down onto the elbows and lift it through the chest as you draw your abs in. Square off to those shoulders. Try not to round into them too much. I really feel these, but I know that it's good before I start my day to really open up my hips. Another few seconds. And we are going to end today with some abs. So since we have the block, why don't we use it? Let's go ahead and bring the block up over our chest. You can slide your shoulder blades down and up. Let's go with a super flat back today. Abs are in. Stretch your legs up and bring one leg to the block. Try not to move your block, right? So don't do that. Bring your leg to the block. Leg to the block. Now you can keep these small. If you want to advance, you'll lift up your head and you can start to make them bigger. Reach, 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 reach for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now squeeze the block in between your legs. Insert the legs up and hands by the nape of the neck. Back stays flat. Squeezing the block and lowering, right? Now let's add a crunch, release, crunch. I'm really keeping my low back in that crunch. And 4, 3, 2. Now hold it, lower, stretch, raise. So bend, stretch, raise. Give me 6, 5, can always lower your head. 4 if you need to. 3, 2, 1. Now reverse it. Down, bend, up, down, bend, up, down, bend, up. 5, in, up, 4, in, up, 3, in, up, 2, in, and grab that block. Sit on up. Right, and let's just take a side bend. So one leg across, the leg that's on top, I've got that elbow down. Deep stretch here, opening through the side body. Come back up, over to the other side. Change the leg that's on top. Open that side now. And you did it. You made your morning amazing. Thanks for joining me. This is Jessi Fit Pilates, your home to get fit, toned, and flexible. I will link the playlist with the other morning mobility series. I hope you'll join me for the rest of them so you can feel great all day and get your body moving and tone up those abs as you stretch out your glutes. Thanks for joining in. Hit that like button if it's your first time here. Welcome, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay